Hey everyone, so I'm on my third cup of coffee. Yes, that is my main diet. And 3 sick children, so my household is not fun at the moment. But I thought while the boys are sleeping, the babies, the 15-month-old and the 4-month-old are napping, I thought I would do a quick video on breastfeeding. So when I first started breastfeeding Hermione, obviously people don't know what to expect, so I thought I'd just give you a little bit of tips of what helped me. First thing I would say is don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Unless there's other complications or anything else, but just persevere. So when my girl first started suckling, it didn't feel sore at all. It was quite a strange feeling. It was a little bit ticklish, but from that moment it was like an instant bond. You just connect with your child in a completely different way, that your body is feeding this life you've just given birth to. Now I ended up having a C-section because she was breech, the little madam, yes. She was head down, and we did try and turn her, but she did not budge. She was stuck there and she did not want to move. So needless to say, I ended up having to have a C-section. So it was my first ever C-section, and I was really scared, just because it's such a major operation. But yeah, it all went well. Really good doctors, so that's fine. But anyway, so first night of having to breastfeed little Hermione, took a little bit of getting used to, because with your first baby, the hospitals tend to be quite strict, and unless your little one's latched on properly, they don't really like you to leave. So she's sucking, but she wasn't getting enough milk. So how they need to do is their chin needs to be at the bottom and their whole mouth needs to cover your nipple, so they say. Now, each of my babies breastfed completely differently. Hermione battled a little bit in the beginning, but she got there. My middle child, he latched on straight away, but would only suck from the nipple bit. He didn't fully latch, but I don't know why he didn't. He just didn't fully latch, but I still breastfed him. And then my youngest, Damien, he just latched on straight away, full mouth, open wide, over the whole nipple, straight away, getting all that good stuff out. So all babies latch differently, and as long as your baby's getting the milk, that's what's important. So it didn't hurt for the first time breastfeeding, until your breasts start feeding quite often. So the longer you start to breastfeed, how do I say this? Eventually it does become sore, because your skin's now starting to get sensitive, because this little munchkin's sucking away on your nipples to get the milk out. So initially in the beginning it won't hurt, but then it will become really painful, like jaw clenching painful. But the good news is that that doesn't last long. And now this is where a lot of mums tend to give up, because your nipples are cracked, they sore, they're bleeding a little bit, and they're like, no, I can't do this, like this is too unbearable. And you think that it's not going to get better. But if you just persevere for another week, when you start getting that intense pain, a week will be at its most severe, and then 2 weeks it will still be sore, but it will start to ease off. So in my previous video I'll put up a post product review on the nipple cream that I used. So after and before every feed, just pop that stuff on, and it really, really does help, especially if they're cracked and bleeding. So you just want to keep them nice and moist, clean, and that does help. But yeah, so I'll just say to those mums out there, if it's really, really sore, persevere, because it will go. It does get better, I promise. Having breastfed 3 of my babies, it happened every single time. It was fine, it wasn't sore to start with, and then it got really, really sore, and then I pushed through it, and then it wasn't sore at all, and then it becomes comfortable again. So it's just hanging on when it's really, really painful. If you can, it's worth it. It's so worth it, because breast milk is quite important for little ones. But that's not to say that I breastfed all my babies for as long as what they say you should. Hermione was 6 months breastfed, and then I popped her into nursery because I needed to go back to work to pay the bills. So she went on to bottle, and then Dante, my middle, he was such a hungry baby, and my boobs just couldn't keep up. They weren't producing enough milk for him, and he was just constantly wanting more. And little Hermione, of course, she was still quite young as well. She wasn't even 2, so she needed a lot of my attention as well. So I ended up switching Dante to bottle when he was 3 months. So I breastfed him for the best part of 3 months. And because he was such a hungry baby, I learned a tip from another mum who said put baby porridge in the formula. So I put the baby porridge in the formula, and it satisfied him for a longer period of time. But I only did that once he was a bit older. So that helped with him. And then little Damien was a sticky baby, so he would throw up a lot, and also very hungry boy, so constantly attached to me, and having a 1.5-year-old, no, not a 1.5-year-old, he's not even 1.5 now, sorry, my brain's frazzled. Having a not even 1-year-old to look after, and this other little newborn attached to my boob the whole time was pretty hard going. But anyway, I breastfed him for as long as possible, and then I got a Mirena coil fitted because Damien was an oopsie. It was not planned, and I didn't want another oopsie. So I got that fitted, and I've done some research, and there's no link to say that it's a side effect, but for whatever reason my boobs just stopped producing as much milk, and also he started getting put off by my breast milk. So he wasn't drinking, he was screaming and crying, and would latch on and then pull away, and then latch on and then pull away, and it was just very, very stressful for me. So in the end I decided to put him on a bottle, and he just took to the bottle straight away. No fuss, no nothing. And he can actually hold his own bottle, and he's 4 months old, so that's pretty impressive. Hermione didn't hold her own bottle for a long time. She was what, 8 months, 9 months before she even held her own bottle. And yeah, so I was quite surprised that he just started holding it now, which is brilliant, because it means I can be hands-free and deal with the elder two. So that's great. So yeah, that's a little bit about sore nipples. So again, you know, it's hard, it's sore, it's gonna hurt like hell, but if you just push through those couple of weeks, it's only a couple of weeks, it's all you need to get through, you'll be fine. Once you get through that, you'll be absolutely fine. A little bit of another bit onto, if your boobs are really, really sore and hot and hard, feed like hell, because it's to prevent mastitis. It's where the milk ducts get blocked up and stuff like that. So a health visitor said to me, just feed from whichever boob sore, just feed like crazy, and it should help relieve it, and then maybe just manually express from the other one, so your body's still producing new fresh milk in the other breast. So yeah, that's all I've got on breastfeeding. I've probably forgotten loads of stuff, but I can only record for so much. So if you have any questions on breastfeeding, feel free to send me a message. And yeah, that's all from me. So have a lovely day, and I will see you all soon. Bye.